So, hello and welcome back to Deadly Premonition. We are actually starting to near the end of York's Little Investigations. Let's change the camera. Where are we supposed to go? Well, we are at the National Park, or the park. I don't know if it's a national one, but I do think it's indeed a park. Right, there is a person that we can talk to. There's Case and who not. So, oh yes, we need to head to Harry's. Do we not indeed? Yes, this leads to where Harry lives. So we've been to the National Forest, or the National Park, or the forest just in general, in order to fish out evidence. Yes.
Zach, if you notice anything, just stop me.
We can talk to Isaac and Isaiah. Brilliant. Actually, looking at it, it seems
Zach,
that
did you
we
want to
can
go somewhere before we visit Harry? That's fine by me.
There's a quest that we can get. Also some kind of sound bug. Can we talk to them? We can't seem to talk to them. Is it because they're trying to get into the car? Are we blocking them from getting into the car? Could very well be. Let's see, Isaac, Isaiah. Right, well. You do you. You most definitely do you. Right. We're off to see Harry. And of course, one of the things that, and one of the reasons why, if this does strike anyone's fancy, that one of the reasons why this should be played by more people is, even though I am
where shall we go next?
Doing an okay playthrough of this, there is still a lot that's going to be missed when it comes to the side missions, when it comes to the side activities, just stuff around. So much that will be missed just because we are moving from one bit of story to another as expediently as possible, in the interest of keeping this a relatively okay-ishly long series, even though it's already past 20 episodes, so that's, you know, one of the problems. But during my first playthrough of this, when I first played this for myself on the PS3, I did rack up a good 16 hours, I think, on my first playthrough, so there's certainly a lot, and I know for a fact that I haven't done quite as nearly as much as I would have normally. Right, so we follow the... there we go. Because there's a lot of stuff during the night that just... There's a couple of very interesting shooting arenas and stuff like that that you can actually do. That was a deer. There's a couple of really interesting shooting arenas and like ghost story thingies having to do with some of the tunnels that are actually quite nice, and I think they even give out some kind of unique weapon rewards or something like that. I can't remember, but they are definitely worth playing, and so is this game, but just because of the time constraints, a lot of it will be unfortunately kind of passed by. Although it does have a, like, the main story, you know, that's the thing that in any game is the most important thing, is what's the main story like, for me at least. I mean, mechanics do add to a game and do add to a story, which this of course loses on the mechanics, but then it comes around with a really well written and good story, that has a little bit of that Resident Evil 4 camp, but that's still very, very much a good mystery. So very, very Twin Peaksy, with the whole murder in a small town kind of thingy. And speaking of Twin Peaks, we should always remember that David Duchovny, who played FBI Special Agent Fox Mulder, also played someone in...
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
Oh, cheerio. Right, David Duchovny. Was it a transsexual? I can't remember. Oh no.
Looks like the next game is hide and seek. Huh?
But yes, David Duchovny played I think the character's name was Dennis Bryson. Oh, Denise Bryson rather, but also known as Dennis Bryson, and yes, I think it was a DEA agent. It's been forever. 357 Magnum, an actual regular one. We can actually buy a sword. Good. Brilliant. We need one. Back. Finish. Let's see, take item out. So we'll put... Okay, so we actually do have 2 golf clubs, and we do have the saber as well. So we've got, I think that means we've got 3 firearms, yeah. Because you can't put away the poxy fucking 9mm fucking handgun, which is fair enough, but yeah. And need to be diligent about saving, because as we've experienced before, this game is somewhat prone to runtime errors. Oh dear.
These girls, Zach. Do you see the resemblance? Anna, Becky. She looks like Diane. And Carol. Zach, look. Emily.
Oh dear. Well, yes, I understood that we can't go back. Thank you for putting up the fucking vines, considering that this looks like a combat arena. We can put that in the toolbox. But considering that there was already 2 fucking statues, and this isn't a game where you can snap high quality beef. Not very consistent cuts though. Ah, we cannot go further. Ah, now we must combat the evil within. And there we go. That's a nice triple kill. Was that okay? So that was it. Well, that was entirely worth the what 2 seconds it took. Reload it. The evil within of course, is another stand and shooty survival horror game. There we go. I think that was a headshot. At least we'll call it a headshot. How are you? And actually a game that I quite liked, The Evil Within. Quite difficult, but also quite enjoyable. Anyway, so it certainly did hit. Okay, so I need to kill the hillbilly first, right? You're not the hillbilly. Hey, fucking! I did not even fucking hit that one. Fuck is that? Right, you are now deceased and oh. Ah yes, there's only had the 4 bullets. How foolish of me not to remember, but great. Oh, there we go. The lady. Yes, indeed. So, Evil Within. Very nice game. Actually, quite tricky at points. I like the amount of weapon variety, although it did again have the problem of being in places weird for weirdness' sake. So. That turkey sandwich looks a little bit off. That's okay. Okay, so I think... Yes. Well, that's a bit... Oh! Some glass broke. But why? And also how? And also why? These are the questions. Will there ever be a response? No, probably not. It is a strange game for strange people. Okay, so not that way, so only this way to go. Right, brilliant. I can hear heavy breathing. Sup, Rob? And you're dead. First aid kit, I'm just gonna not pick that up. Actually, I'm gonna use one and pick that up. I think that's gonna be the most sensible option. Right, let us go through there. Use one. Let's use two. Let's be... No. There's times for being fastidious, and then there's times where we can splurge a little bit. And how are you? And how are you? Could I get past? Yes. So, other gaming stuff that actually happened very recently. This past weekend marks unfortunately the last time in the foreseeable future when Alan Wake, the original Alan Wake, this doesn't actually pertain to the sequel, Alan Wake's American Shitmare, which is an okay game, but not very good. Anyway, doesn't matter. As I was saying, the last time in the foreseeable future when Alan Wake will be available on digital platform, well, on digital distribution platforms, rather. So, no Steam, no good old games, and I don't even know if it's on good old games, but it's just a very good example of a digital distribution platform. And the reason for this is that the copyright license on some of the songs used in the game has unfortunately lapsed. So it is still available, of course. Somewhat, it's actually quite easy to apparently get on well, on Xbox 360, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. It's a surprisingly fun game, and it has a lot of good writing, but I still think it would have probably made a better book or a TV show because of how the story is constructed, and because of it's locked, because of all the reading that you do have to do. But yes, indeed. Was it Remedy who made that game? Anyway, I think it was Remedy, and they are indeed looking into relicensing, but because this is again one of those situations where literally anything can happen and might happen. Copyright being quite a weird thing these days. But yes, so they are looking to relicense the music, but they haven't got a time frame for that, unfortunately, quite yet. So, you know, hopefully it'll be available again digitally quite soon, but this weekend was a very good time to, in fact, grab it for a very, very low price. I would have bought a couple of gift copies as well, but unfortunately that wasn't an option. I got some good advice from a very, how would one say it, a very pleasant stream viewer who commented that that would actually make a very good giveaway price after it's no longer available. So unfortunately no luck there, but that's okay. Actually thought that one was still alive, but apparently not. Oh, hello. Whoa. Great. Don't you fucking start that. Other interesting stuff, not much. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of, well, like I've said in the stream previously on Sunday, which you can find on the channel, I've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it. But in addition to that, another very interesting game has popped up on my radar. The game The Flame in the Flood, which is one of those, you know, Don't Starve-esque gather supplies and craft stuff kind of thing. So you know, that is one of those.
Emily!
At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love.
Stop!
Well, that was a weird thing.
Zach, did you see that? I must be getting tired.
Nah, bruv. You're going mental. Anyway, so you know, the basic premise isn't anything too revolutionary, but it is done well, and the thing that kind of sets it apart, the thing that makes it different, is that you travel between locations on a raft. So the idea is that you are, you know, you're rafting down a river, and you need to steer yourself into these little ports, little harbours, in order to, of course, repair your raft, stuff like that, but also just to scavenge. And I think that's a very well made aspect of the game. So I've had a lot of good times with it. But I weirdly don't seem to be able to get the hang of kind of crafting survival games like that very easily, so that's why I was kind of excited actually for Don't Starve Together, because I do sometimes need someone to just take me by the hand and show me how the things are done the dumb way. Because I do get very dumb sometimes when it comes to these things. Yes? Weird. What a place for a fucking library. Sup, Harry?
Zach, looks like we're out of the countryside and back in civilization.
Welcome, York.
I brought the documents. Just what is going on in here?
I warned you about haste. Take it slow. You'll lose sight of what's important if you just rush past it. As an agent of the FBI, I'm sure you know. So many people have got it all wrong. They think speed is the key. That being first is the best. They want speed and are satisfied with what the speed brings. Even if it means that they miss so much on the way, they don't even see that. I see everything that they don't. From here, I see it all. Then, when the time comes, I make use of what I've seen. I can get whatever I want in this way. Anything at all.
You're certainly talkative today, Harry. But I didn't come here for a business lecture. Tell me everything you know.
Speed is not important. Timing is what is important. Timing. York, you have a natural gift for waiting for the correct timing. Just be careful that your haste does not ruin everything. That will be vital to solving the current case at hand. York, I know more than you think, but less than what you hope. 1, you have Nick in custody. 2, Thomas is missing. 3, Carol has a locket that belongs to the murderer. I also know that this case revolves around the red seeds. But that's about it.
So you've got an inside line on police information.
That reminds me. The victims' tongues were cut out, weren't they? But that's only a minor point. Don't let the shocks blind you to what's more important. That's another business tip.
Harry, I'm impressed. You gather information really well. You hacked into the FBI network, too. Amazing. But I didn't come here to hear this.
Then let us close the business seminar. It's time for a history lesson instead. I remember it as though it were yesterday, if you'll pardon the cliché. It was dark, raining, a foggy night. My parents, who normally got along, were fighting over something. My father was blaming my mother, it seemed. So I left the house, headed for the clock tower. There was a party being held that day to celebrate the tower's completion. I wanted to see the town from above, and so I decided to climb the tower. Curious child, and saw it being constructed day after day. I'm not sure why, but I was really drawn to the tower in some way. And that's why I knew. From the pit in the theater, there's a path to the clock tower. They were just cleaning up after the party, so it was easy to get into the theater. I used the secret passage to sneak into the tower. But when I reached the top, I saw something very strange. There were soldiers there, all wearing gas masks. I moved closer and saw that they were fiddling with some kind of device. The device was emitting purple smoke outside. Just then, for the first time, the bell rang throughout the tower. I reacted with fear, left the tower as fast as I could.
Well, all the film grain.
When I got outside again, the purple fog was spreading. I covered my nose and mouth and ran home. I unconsciously counted the number of times the bell rang. After the 12th time, the bell did not stop ringing. It rang a loud 13th time. I got back into town to see another, even more disturbing sight. The people were attacking, killing each other, rampaging as though insane. One man, dressed in a red raincoat, was particularly strong. Anyone who attacked him was killed in an instant. I, too, started to feel a violent hate boiling up inside me. I tried, but was unable to suppress it. One word resonated through my head. Kill! 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 Without thinking, I took a branch and attacked the man in the raincoat. For a moment, I didn't know what was occurring. The face beneath the hood was that of my father, painted with an expression I had never seen before. Hatred and angst. He clearly saw me, but that did not stop him from attacking me.
Oh dear.
He knocked me out, and I fell to the ground. The following morning, I awoke surrounded by dead bodies. It wasn't raining anymore, and the purple fog was gone. I couldn't believe what I saw and what I myself had done. But even worse things were waiting for me when I got home. My mother was dead. Killed, presumably also by my father. The next day, the town was overrun by military personnel. That's when the gag order was issued. Talking about the incident was unappreciated, a taboo. But even still, people stopped going outside when it rained. Country folk are very patriotic. We never tell our children about what happened. But these things find a way out of even the tightest of lips, in parts. People only speak of the killer in the red raincoat, which is where the legend of the raincoat killer comes from.
Quite a story.
After the incident, the gas seeped into the soil of the town. Even today, when it rains, a minute amount is released. That's why I never take my mask off when I'm outside. This town is dirty, York.
If what you say is true, then the killer is someone who is badly affected when it rains.
You need to draw the conclusions, not I. I have no conclusions.
Is there a connection between the red seeds and the gas, then?
This is just my own presumption. The seeds and the gas have a similar effect on our nervous systems. I believe someone figured that out and decided to use it. Or it could just be nature's way of getting back at us humans. York! Good news! You'll hear from George soon. They have found Thomas.
Brilliant, I suppose.
I'll tell you one last and very important thing. Just as you suspected, everything I have told you is gibberish. I never hacked into the FBI server, and I certainly know nothing about the red seeds. I shall thank you for listening to an old man babble on.
Let me ask you one thing then, Harry. You're a businessman. You must be after something in return for giving me this information.
York, at times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love.
But that still does not justify murder.
Remember this. Everything changes in form. There isn't a single thing that can maintain its shape for eternity. Overlook this fact, and you'll be making a big, big mistake.
Alright then. Well, that was film grainy. That's okay. But in addition to the film grain, there was a rather rotund military man, was there not? He also seemed to enjoy a jolly laughter. And there was something upon a box. Or, I think it was a box. And the thing that was upon it was, of course, a sapling.
York, we found Thomas.
I know you did.
He's at his house, right?
How did you know that?
Timing, Emily. Good timing.
Whatever, just get in. George is heading over there already. Let's get a move on.
Well, okay, so this is just so that I need to drive. Okay.
Zach, things are finally starting to come together.
Right, get in the fucking
All
car.
we need now is for Thomas to fill in the blanks in our new legend.
Close the door, get in the fucking car. There we go. Right, so this is it for this time. Thank you for joining me for this, and please join me next time, and of course, please join me on Sunday at 1 PM UK time for another stream of Fallout New Vegas. Until then, goodbye.